Jesse Jackson, thank you very much for joining us on the Politics Show.
Good to be with you today.
Now, everybody saw you crying there, you know, when Obama was giving that poignant speech. Tell me, what was going through your mind at that moment?
It was the joy of the moment. You know, this has been a long struggle. I thought about people faraway places in the villages of Kenya and the Congo and the squatters in South Africa and in Haiti and places here in Europe who are hungry and who are poor, but who had such hope invested in him, listening by their radios to get the word, did he win, did he win? It actually happened. That was the joy of the moment. But the journey, I mean, I marched in Trafalgar Square with Archbishop Huddleston and Render Grant to free Mandela, to free Namibia. We marched to get Aristide back to Haiti. We marched to end wars. Dr. King was killed. And so I thought about the martyrs who were vindicated on that night. And so a combination of the joy of the moment and the journey was overwhelming.
Well, we saw that you were overwhelmed by that, and I think a lot of people watching were as well. Here, you were giving your sermon earlier on. A lot of people here very enthusiastic about the message that you were giving them. Tell me, why have you come to Birmingham? Why do you think the Obama effect could have an impact here?
It must be a UK effect. This is a very poor community. These are poor, hard-working people. And in the Western world, where plants have closed and jobs have left, and drugs and guns have come, there's abounding poverty. So a nation as wealthy as the UK must in fact build a floor beneath which no one will fall. People here, children need education and nutrition. Workers need jobs, and it becomes the society's priority must be to in fact invest in the poor. After all, as Christians, what do we say? Jesus said, I've been anointed to preach the gospel, good news to the poor. And that must be our mission. A
lot of people have been talking about, you know, whether Britain could have its own Obama, but realistically, if we look at how many MPs we have in Parliament from ethnic minorities, there are only 15 in the West Midlands, just 2, none from African backgrounds. As an outsider looking in, what hope do you think we have?
Well, the hope must be in white people changing their minds. If the white majority can pull for blacks on the football team playing soccer and rugby, they can pull for the heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis, then white people must choose leadership not based upon racial lineage or gender or religion. And in America, we didn't change. White America changed, and changed for the better. America is changing. And in that change, they begin to choose leadership beyond lines of race and gender.
Well, yes, because with the Barack Obama message, I suppose it is such that, you know, it was the best man for the job, and race was kind of second to that, would you say?
Indeed, and that becomes the great challenge of the great Western powers, to choose whether it's gender or race, religion. Do not let these forces impede us from making good and wise choices.
What do you think about the issue of all ethnic minority shortlists? It's a debate that's being had in the UK Parliament at the moment, whether or not we should put people from Afro-Caribbean and Asian communities on those shortlists.
Oh, sure, of course you should. There must be some plan of inclusion to offset exclusion. If not, you'll have democratic tyranny, where those who are in power recycle the power. But to be a great society, you must have a plan to include those who've been locked out, and therefore you let all your talent exhibit itself. We do not know how good Great Britain can be until all of its talent can be exhibited beyond just the athletic field. When the Olympics come here in 2012, you'll see on that field around the world, why will these poor athletes win the gold medals? Because whenever the playing field is even, rules the public and the goals are clear, we can win. I say to you, in this society, make room for those who've been locked out.
But some say, and I spoke to a black councillor who's hoping to stand at the next election, she was basically saying that she felt that if there was all ethnic minority shortlist, that would be divisive in some ways, and you know, it should be on merit purely.
It should be healing, of course, in the society. This society is built on inheritance and lineage, and so to offset the impact of inheritance and lineage, there must be some plan, because inheritance is a plan, lineage is a plan, royal blood is a plan. So for those who have been locked out, there must be some plan to include everybody.
Well, Jesse Jackson, thank you very much for speaking to us on the Politics Show. And Reverend Jackson will be speaking to a convention here later, and if it's anything like the service I watched earlier, that will be packed to capacity as well.